Hello. So, this is the problem that I looked at. The problem is, to change from one figure to the next, the number of square tiles is increased by 1 on each of the 4 sides of the figure. How many square tiles are needed to build in figure 10? Write an expression for the 100th case. Can you write a formula for the nth case? Explain your thinking. So, the first thing I did is I looked at the 4 figures that were given. So it starts out by saying it's increased by 1 on each of the 4 sides of the figure. So if we look at figure 1, they're not adding anything. This is what they started out with. So they're saying there's 1 in the middle of the top, 1 in the middle of the right, 1 in the middle on the bottom, and 1 in the middle on the left. You also have to account for the 4 corners on each side. So we can say in figure 1 that there are 8 square tiles. Let's look at figure 2 now. So this is when it starts to get a little tricky. What they did was they doubled the squares in the middle of each of the corners. So in figure 1 we had 1 in the middle. Now we have 2 in the middle, on the top, on the right, on the left, and on the bottom. If you count those up, including the 4 corners, you can now say that we have 12 square tiles. Let's look at figure 3 now. So now they have 3 in the middle on the top, 3 in the middle on the right, 3 in the middle on the bottom, 3 in the middle on the left. You see the pattern growing? The pattern would be that there are now 16 square tiles in figure 3. So if we follow this pattern, we would guess that there are 20 in figure 4, right? Because we keep adding 4 to our total. So let's see if that holds true. We have 4 up top in the middle, 4 on the right in the middle, 4 on the bottom in the middle, and 4 on the left in the middle. That's 16. Add in the 4 corners, and you have 20. So we can clearly see that there is a pattern occurring in that the numbers each figure increase by 4. Alright. So now we're looking at our first problem, which was how many square tiles are needed to build figure 10. So following the pattern from before, you would say that figure 10 has 10 on the top, 10 square tiles on the top, 10 square tiles on the right, 10 square tiles on the bottom, 10 square tiles on the left. Now, I'm not very good at drawing tiles, so we have dots, but you have to trust me that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on each side. So if we have 4 equal sides of 10, how many tiles do we have so far? Well, let's see. 10 times 4 is 40. So we have 40 tiles. We are missing something, however, and that is the 4 corners that make these 10 tiles be in the middle. So let's add those. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We now have 44 tiles. Alright, so let's use that thinking of finding if it's the 10th figure, there are 10 boxes on the top, bottom, right, and left, right? And then you have the 4 corners. So let's use that thinking to find the 100th case. If we looked at the 100th case, right, that means there would be 100 on the top, 100 on the bottom, 100 on the left, and 100 on the right sides. Right? And those are all in the middle. So what do we have to add? The 4 corners. Therefore, we can predict that on the 100th case there would be 404 square tiles total. Alright, so now that we figured that out, we should try to write a formula for the nth case, right? So let's think about what we have done so far. In each figure, what we did was we added up the four middle totals, right? So on this one, we added up these four, and then we added up the four corners after. And on figure 2, we added up the two middle on each of the four sides, and then the four corners after. The thing about a square is that for it to be equal, there are going to be an equal number of tiles on each side. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. Because they are all equal, right, we don't necessarily have to add them up, but what we are doing is we're taking the figure number, the nth, and we're timesing it by 4. And once we do that, we are finding out how many tiles are in the middle. So, what do we do after that? Well, we can't forget about the four corners, so we are adding 4. This would be our formula to use to find the nth case. Let's check it with a couple of these. So, in figure 4, for example, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle. So we would do 4 times 4 plus 4. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 4 gives us 20. If we go back a few slides, we will remember that we had already counted these, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we are right? The formula works. Let's try it for the 100th case, just to check our work. So we have 100 middle tiles, and we need that 4 times, and we're adding the four corners. That gives us 404. That's why you should always show your work. Alright guys, so that's how you do this problem. I hope it helped you, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. Math.